kitty, kitty, won't you wink at me?
What's your question?
I meet people from everywhere. I've seen the world, but for some reason, I still can't find love, not love that's like genuine, someone who don't want me for the benefits.
I think we gotta be honest about presentation. No judgment to you, but I'm saying if I'm meeting you here tonight and I'm looking at how you dress, my thoughts are not gonna be intellectual.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Midi. I make faith-based content. If you're new to the channel, love to give you guys a warm welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, may the good Lord bless you. Now guys, before we even go further, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notification bell so every time I upload a video, you'll be notified. So guys, we have some things to talk about, but before I get into it, I'm just gonna let the video play.
I meet people from everywhere. I've seen the world, but for some reason, I still can't find love, not love that's like genuine, someone who don't want me for the benefits.
I think we gotta be honest about presentation. No judgment to you, but I'm saying if I'm meeting you here tonight and I'm looking at how you dress, my thoughts are not gonna be intellectual.
That's not fair, but okay.
That's not fair. I don't want you to be mad at me. The way you came to that microphone,
Oh my
baby.
God.
Kitty, kitty, can you wink at me?
Kitty, I love you.
I love you too, baby. But let me tell you something. As a woman who done had to go a lot of stages through my life, I done had to go through a lot of seasons, a lot of mistakes. There was a spirit that I operated in a long time ago that made me promiscuous. It was something that attached itself to me, and I lived in it for a very, very, very long time. It was the way that I was speaking to people, the way that I presented myself in conversations, the way I presented myself to men, and those men only wanted me for sex. And I kept going through that same cycle until I released that spirit, until I was delivered from that spirit that was in me. Not trying to go too deep, but I recognized something in you that was once in me before. I'm a wife. I had to release a lot of things. I had to ask God to restore me in a lot of ways. I had to go through a lot of guilt and a lot of shame for mistakes that I made from a spirit that I was operating in that came down my bloodline. You operated in a spirit, baby. You can cover up right now, but even by the way you talk, it's in you right now. And I'm not saying that to beat you down, baby. I hope and pray that you take this to heart.
Of course.
I hope you do. Take this message. If you are running in the same cycle, it's time to do some inner work. You got to look within and see exactly what is the cycle that I'm allowing myself to stay in. You can put on some clothes right now. You go to a man, ooh, can you talk to me for a second? He's going to see the sexual nature that's in you, and he's going to lead just like what Trill was saying.
Easy cue.
You can cover up all day long. It's in a way that it's in your behaviors, in the way you talk, in the way you interact, in the way you engage, in the way you talk about your future, in the way you talk about yourself. If you're running into the same problem, it's a you problem, baby. What do you want in a man?
Loyalty, love, a God-fearing man, someone who can respect me.
If you want someone to respect you, you got to respect yourself, baby.
Absolutely.
Okay? And if you want a God-fearing man, you got to be a God-fearing woman
Of course.
as well.
Yes.
Okay?
You guys, I stumbled upon this video and I thought it was very interesting. It reminded me, as a matter of fact, it took me back to a time in my life where I was fed up, okay, of how men used to treat me, how they used to look at me. And I remember God did an inner work in me. I remember crying out to God. I was like, God, I'm so tired of attracting the wrong kind of people, the wrong type of conversation. And I remember God even rebuking me from the way I dressed, because you know, when you're doing an inner work with God, it has to start with him, and everything has to start with him and end with him. And I remember I started off with God rebuking my sense of dressing, the way that I was presenting myself. If I wore something that showed cleavage, of course, when a man looks at you, the first thing they're not going to think is they want to take you to church. And I remember I actually did a video on this channel, an episode with my young brother, and he was sharing that the way women presents themselves, in the sense of the way you talk, your attitude, the way you're dressing, can literally trigger certain thoughts towards a man. They can be either lustful thoughts or respectful thoughts, or they can just have a sense of respect and care towards you outside your beauty. I think when it comes to dressing and presentation, it's very important that we women reconsider, and men too. I remember when God rebuked me about my dressing, it changed a lot of things. It changed the way I carried myself, even the way that I viewed myself, the way that I loved myself. I started seeing myself in the lenses of who God sees me as, more than what I thought about my outer beauty. Beauty comes from within, and I really love everything that they touched upon on this video. You have to work on the inner man. And I remember when God rebuked me about my dressing, he reminded me that I was created in his image, and he reminded me that when I come in his presence, do I find him as naked as I looked then? And like, I used to wear different types of clothing, and he was challenging me, like, when you come into my presence, do you find me dressed the way that you're dressed? Do you find me presenting myself the way you have been presenting yourself to the world? And I can't lie, guys, that really sting, and it stuck with me. And it was like the first time that the Lord ever rebuked me. It was so loud. And so I want to encourage my girlies and men too, to say that the way you dress, the way you speak, the way you present yourself to people in conversations can trigger certain thoughts. Either, sometimes you can provoke respect. You can demand respect by the way that you carry yourself, and you can demand disrespect by the way you carry yourself as well. So I wanted to talk to young women and say that in this season of singleness, please present yourself as a temple of God. Present yourself, even just not just for the sake of relationship, but for your relationship with God, just as a person that carries the presence of God, as a child of God, as a servant of God. You ought to present yourself, carry your temple as a living sacrifice. Be holy, be acceptable in the sight of God and in the presence of people as well. The way you carry yourself, the way you dress, the way you speak, you have to do that inner work. Now, I can appreciate people are coming from different backgrounds. Of course, people have had bad experiences in relationships, including myself. But for me, guys, personally, I had to do a lot of inner work in order for me to start attracting the right type of conversations in my life, whether it was in business or personal relationships or friendships. Because whatever you display out there, I'm not gonna lie, guys, the way you dress, you're gonna attract those kind of demons. And you have to do something different in life in order for you to get something that is also of godly. If you want a loving, respectful, kind type of man, you have to change the way you are presenting yourself, because what we see often reflects what's internal. And if you've done a great work internally, it starts exuding. It will start showing on your outer countenances. So guys, I want to encourage you, ladies and gentlemen, to actually do an inner work before you consider getting into a relationship with anyone. Heal from those past relationships. I always say this to younger girls as if like I'm an auntie, but I am technically an auntie. If you know me, I behave like an auntie. I always give this analogy whenever I'm talking to, my brothers or my sisters. I'm always encouraging them to say that before you get into any relationship with anyone or considering to talk to anyone, I think it's very important to clean your heart, clean your house, clean your mind, your attitude, your character, work on it. Imagine if you dished a meal yesterday and today somebody makes a fresh meal for you. Are you going to eat fresh food in a plate that was used yesterday and it hasn't been washed? The answer is no. You will literally be disgusted because of bacteria, because of the dirt, you name it. Every thought that comes towards you when you think of this analogy, right? So it's the same principle in relationship. Before you enter any relationship, work on yourself, heal from that previous relationship, heal and work on those wounds, whatever bad taste or experiences you experienced in that previous relationship. Make sure you give yourself time to heal, to work through those baggages, because guys, it's so important to enter into a new relationship knowing that you've worked on yourself. You are working on your salvation. If you desire to be in a relationship, it should be in view of marriage. It should be in view of eternity. Like, you shouldn't be getting into situationships or relationships just for the sake of it. And I also had to learn that I got to a season in my life where I just stopped entertaining conversations for the sake of conversation. Of course, you give people, the chance and the benefit of the doubt to sift through to see if it's gonna work or are they for you. But you know what I mean? But don't just be throwing yourself left, right, and center and just cause distraction. One of the things that I've learned so far is to ask God for direction, ask God for wisdom and knowledge to direct your path, even the people to listen to and people not to listen to, who to entertain and whom not to entertain. Because guys, what you allow in your space will end up, influencing whom you become. So I always talk about this on this channel, that be careful what you listen to, because you will eventually become what you listen to. The Bible says that bad company corrupts good character, and the Bible also says that eyes and ears are a gateway. So be careful of what you expose yourself to physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, because those things will start shaping up your identity, your inner man, and your art, your countenances as well. So guys, I want to leave you with this video. Let me know what you think about this video and this video that I came across. Let me know your thoughts. If you've got any advice for men and women that may find themselves in such a predicament where they're looking for something serious but they can't seem to be getting the right guy. And let me know if what you've learned in your, if you're in a relationship, marriage, or in your single season, drop something that the Lord has definitely, taught you in your single journey, in your personal journey as an individual. But guys, I want to leave you with this video. I pray that this video will bless you, will encourage you to just partner with God in everything that you're doing. Don't be led by emotions. Don't be discouraged by bad experiences. I always say this because I know people have walked away from their faith and relationship with God because they thought that this said person was going to be their husband or their wife, and it didn't quite work out as so. However, my encouragement to you is that your relationship with God should always be beyond materialistic things. It should be beyond the physical things. And I always share with you guys my favorite scripture, which comes from the book of Colossians 3 verse 2. It says, set your mind on the things above, not the things upon the earth. And the other version says, set your affections on the things above, not the things upon the earth. When Christ returns, we ought to reflect that image. We ought to die to self, the flesh, and start pursuing God in view of eternity, not the things of this world. The Bible also says that do not store your treasures on earthly things, but whatever you're doing, do it in view of eternity. Now, I want to leave you with this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in another video. May the good Lord bless you.